clarify definitions and the scope to identify agri-cooperatives, those with at least 50% agri-related operations. Number two, ensure that membership in the proposed National Federation of Agricultural Cooperatives remain voluntary in accordance with RA 9520 or the Cooperative Code. The CDA regulatory mandate should be maintained, with DA focusing on technical support in policy development. Recognize and support the growing roles of cooperatives in digital agriculture, climate smart technology, and emerging sectors. Align the proposed Bureau of Agriculture Cooperatives with the existing DA Agricultural Cooperative Enterprise Development Service to avoid overlap. And promote value chain driven cooperatives models that engage in all stages from input supply, production, processing, marketing, and export to maximize impact and market competitiveness. Lastly, strengthen inter-coordination to improve access to finance, markets, and technology, which is essential for enhancing productivity and competitiveness. On Senate Bill number 112, or the strengthening the cooperative or the agriculture and fishery extension system, the DA supports the transformation of ETI into the Philippine Agriculture and Fishery Extension Agency with the following key recommendations. Expand the definition of agriculture extension workers to include expanded statutory education equivalency and accreditation program qualified individuals. Institutionalize regional training centers to maintain a regional footprints. Clarify roles of provincial agriculture and fishery offices, DA regional field offices, and the provincial to ensure smooth coordination. Professionalize the agriculture extension workers or workforce through standard qualifications and career paths. Prepare a transition plan to prevent service disruptions. Fully integrate fishery extension services through close coordination with BIFAR and partner institutions. And include provisions for legal protection, incentives, and piloting farmer-to-farmer models backed by strong systems of monitoring and evaluations. On Congressional Commission on Agriculture, SB or Senate Bill number 1199 and 1345, the department also supports the creation of a Congressional Commission and recommends ensuring inclusive representation from smallholder farmers, fisherfolk, CDA, and DA technical experts. Promoting transparency, including public consultants and published findings. Supporting evidence-based policy making in coordination with PIDS and other data sources. Requiring declaration of conflicts of interest from commission members to maintain integrity. These recommendations aim to ensure that the commission operates with credibility, inclusivity, and informed decision-making, ultimately advancing responsive and sustainable agriculture and fishery policies. Finally, Mr. Chair, we at the Department of Agriculture welcomes and support these reforms initiatives. However, their success will depend on coherent implementation, stakeholder participation, and ensuring that new structures work in harmony with existing mandates and programs. Mr. Chair, we will also submit the detailed matrix on all our comments and recommendations, and we thank the Senate for championing the need of our farmers and fisher folks to reaffirm our full cooperation in crafting policies that lead to a more productive, inclusive, and resilient agriculture and fishery sector. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Navarro. Would there be position papers from the ATI, for example? Or you are adopting the position taken by... Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. We submitted our position to the Office of the Secretary, and I think some of them are already included in the statement read by Yusek Navarro, sir.
Would you like to add?
I have presentation.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Just would like to present some information about agricultural extension.
Before you present, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere, and you can confirm this, that prior to the establishment of the ATI, actually it used to be the Extension Service Office, right?
Yes, sir.
Of the department.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So that's why you're actually front and center in this, in the Extension Service renationalization. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Just to provide you with some information about the past agricultural extension and today's extension. As mentioned by the good Senator, the Chair, Agricultural Training Institute was the former Bureau of Agricultural Extension. In the 80s, the most popular, I think, bureau of the Department of Agriculture, because its extension workers are in the community. Next slide, please. The creation of Agricultural Training Institute is by virtue of Executive Order 116, sometime in the 80s, with renaming the Ministry of Agriculture and Food into DA. And there's one provision there, creating the Agricultural Training Institute and merging it with the other two agencies, the Philippine Training Center for Rural Development and the Philippine Agricultural Training Council. So ATI was born in that period, and we are mandated to train agricultural extension workers and facilitate technology transfer to farmers. So it's more on training, capacity building to extension workers, meaning the former Bureau of Agricultural Extension merged with the other two agencies. Kumonte yung kanyang function, and later on, the local government code.
Before that, did you have I'm not sure if you have the information, but did you have to how do you call it, retire people because of the merger? This is actually a reorganization. So whether may mga tinanggal kayo na mga tao?
I think so, sir. I was not in the office during that period, but I believe there were some retirements.
Baka lang you can check if you can, you may submit to this committee at a later date. Anong nangyari nung nag-merge? May tinanggal ba? Kasi gusto natin malaman, no? Yung saan tayo galing, tapos saan tayo, di ba, napunta, tapos saan tayo dapat tubungo. Kasi sabi ninyo kanina, I asked that because you said pinaka-popular yung Bureau of Extension Services noon, no? So gusto ko malaman ka, marami ba yung tao ninyo? Tinanggal ba ninyo? Etc. Inabsorb ba? Whatever. So, but if you have lang the information, you can submit it. Please proceed.
Yes, sir. I think those personnel from the Bureau of Agricultural Extension were absorbed by virtue of the local government code. All the agricultural extension workers of the department became the extension workers of the local government units.
Kumbaga, inabsorb ng LGU. So whether sinustain or kinulaps ng LGU, hindi natin alam unless pwede nating alamin, no? Even just the numbers, no? How many of them were devolved? Diba? You don't have to answer it now, no? But I'd like to just understand, no, the process by which we dismantled the National Extension Service Program, and how, and of course, by understanding what happened, we will understand, I mean, the facts. Then we will understand why Extension Service somehow lost its way. And I'd like to know the numbers. Ilan ang inabsorb ng mga LGU at that time? Kasi doon natin maintindihan, ano ba yung, well, I have some information pero kulang. No? So if you can submit also, ideally, ano ba ang universe ng extension services? Ano ba ang international standard for extension workers and their per population? Because ang alam ko nga sa Taiwan, and I was there 2 months ago, for every 18 farmers, may isang extension worker. So they have about 600,000 farmers, 60,000 fisherfolk. So, and of course, pagka nationalize yan, yung budget. Di ba? Dahil with 18 workers, and this is a combination of the Farmers Association workers and the Ministry of Agriculture workers sa Taiwan. Please continue. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. In my later presentation, I will give the numbers, particularly the local government's extension workers, because we have this unified extension information system where we profile the local government units extension workers. Okay. First, from the time.
Do you have sorry, just a ballpark figure? How many extension workers do we have, national and local?
What we profiled were the agricultural extension workers in the LGU,
Yes.
and our present status is more or less 11,149. We have our profiling is still ongoing, but the previous data that we have in 2021, there are about 13,000 plus. So we are still short of 2,000 who will register in the UNEXS, and that's our current number is already 84% of the 2021 data of extension workers.
Saying the target is 15,000 extension workers in the local?
No, sir. The 13,000 that we have was the data we profiled in 2021.
Okay.
And currently, with our information system, we have 11,149. So the profiling is still ongoing.
Okay.
We can provide you also data on the years of service, and most of them are 10 years and below. So the agricultural extension workers at the local government unit are new in the service.
Okay. So in other words, itong 13,000 are the LGUs
Yes,
primarily, no?
not the ACE.
Not DA. Magsinama mo yung sa DA hanggang sa regional level.
APCO, the Agricultural Productivity Coordinating Officers in the
APCO lang. O ilan yun?
an average of 8 to 10 people per province.
And then ATI. Ilan ang empleyado ng ATI?
We have 500
Yeah.
to
8
include.
to 10 per province. So this is about 100. Sabihin mo na lang. Diba? Roughly. And then another 500 for ATI.
But those have administrative functions.
Yes. I understand. I'm just looking at
Yeah. To include the job orders and contract of service.
hindi regular. Okay, go ahead. Please continue.
Okay. So until such time, there was the passage of the local government code, and of course AFMA, the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act. From the local government code, there is provision on the centralization of basic services, particularly, next slide please, on Section 17 of APMA, and all the levels of local governments have